Welcome to Law Nexus. Thank you for joining us today, where real courtroom moments reveal how fast freedom can disappear. In this video, a few quiet questions turn into life-changing consequences. Stay with us, because what sounds routine quickly becomes irreversible.
Nope, nothing starts here at 9:30 ever. That's okay. All right, sir. I'll recall, obviously, the bond forfeiture. And so, Mr. Van Wright, you were previously in court and entered pleas of true in a motion to revoke your probation and entered plea of guilty in the new offense. Can you send me that paperwork just because this is all... And the agreement was for a 2 years TDC, and I gave you a little bit of time to come back and be sentenced today, correct? Were you arrested for anything between that time and now? So if they were agreed, I should have these printed out. We shouldn't have these if they were agreed. There they are. Put that away. All right, and give me just a second. Sorry, I'm a little out of sorts. What did he plead true to?
There's only one count.
Judge accepted the plea, then delivered the sentence. 2 years in prison, probation revoked, and no right to appeal.
And then change it. Got it. All right, Mr. Van Wright, in cause number 24 DCCR 2485, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of injury to a child, elderly, or disabled individual. Sentence you in accordance with your agreement to a term of 2 years in the Institutional Division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. In cause number 15-23582, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of true to count 1 freely and voluntarily. Find sufficient evidence in that case to revoke your probation, and at this time, revoke your probation and reassess your punishment in accordance with your agreement to a term of 2 years in the Institutional Division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will also receive credit on that for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. The cases will run concurrently, which means together at the same time. I'm handing you, in each of those cases, trial court certifications that shows that these were agreements that I followed, so you waived your right to appeal. I've also handed you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgments entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. Firearm is a legal term, and you should read that written admonishment I provide you to see what devices qualify as a firearm. If you have questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or about how long that lasts, you can speak with your attorneys. All right, good luck to you, sir. You can go back with the bailiff. Thank you, Ms. Simmons. Good morning. Are you Drayden Ropes? Excuse me. On a lesser, it looks like. So got it. Okay. All right, Mr. Rose, will he waive the formal reading of the indictment? Mr. Rose, in cause number 25, DCCR 0789, the state has elected to proceed on the lesser included offense of a Class A misdemeanor assault from April 16th of 2025. And how do you plead to that charge?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you actually did what they've charged you with? I have here on the tablet some documents that have your signature on them that the state has marked as exhibit number 1. Before you sign these, did you go over them with Mr. Lewis? Do you fully understand them? And do you understand, if I follow the agreement that you've made with the district attorney, that you'll be waiving or giving up any right to appeal? And it looks like the agreement is for a 1-year deferred probation. There would be a $300 fine, and you would be required to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. Is that your understanding? And are you a U.S. citizen? State tenders number 1.
No objection.
It's admitted. Is there any evidence that Mr. Rose is not competent?
No objection.
And Mr. Smith, since it's been reduced, is there any history or any reason to get a pre-sentence report? So, Mr. Rose, I'm going to waive the pre-sentence report in your case. I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily, find that you're mentally competent and understand the nature and the consequences of that plea, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, I'm following the agreement that you made and deferring all proceedings and placing you on probation for 1 year. You're ordered to pay the $300 fine and to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. If you do that, this is a great opportunity because you don't have the conviction on your record. And at the end of the probation period, if you are complete it satisfactorily, then the case will be dismissed. You'll never have that conviction. The other side of that is if you violate your probation, you can be brought back into court, found guilty of the offense, and go to the Jefferson County Jail for up to 1 year. Do you understand? I should have something. I'm going to hand you the trial court certification that shows this was an agreement that I followed, and so you waived your right to appeal. Once you get that, you'll just need to have a seat here in the courtroom. Probation's going to call you up when she's ready to go over your paperwork. She's at that desk right over there, so be watching for her to call you up. All right, good luck to you, sir. Good morning, sir. You're John Martin. And this is 25 DCCR 0583. Mr. Martin is charged with injury to a child, elderly, or disabled individual. And what is the announcement?
We're still waiting
On what?
on records.
Oh,
Yes, Judge, it looks like there was an agreed order for the CPS records.
back in October. Okay.
And I'll reach out to Ms. Adams. and
Okay,
find-
that would be great if you would see where they are in that process. We'll just do, let's do about 45 days reset, a little extra time. So hopefully we get those records back before then. You guys can review them and we'll see if we get an announcement. Stay in touch with Mr. Burbank and he'll let you know when you need to be back. All right? Yes, sir. Thank you.
This transcript shows how plea deals can either end in prison or offer a fresh start. One man loses his freedom immediately, while another is given probation and a chance to walk away clean. Court decisions move fast, and one mistake can change everything. If you want more real courtroom stories like this, like, share, and subscribe to Law Nexus.